Hello Game Boys and Game Girls, I'm the Game Boy Guru, and welcome to episode 11 of Re-Unboxing. So, I'm still unboxing all of the various items from my game collection, trying to get through everything so I can get my game room here in order and everything put away after the move to the new place. So here is another tub of controllers and peripherals, etc. So, let's have a peek. So here is a GameStop branded GameCube controller. Haven't messed with this one yet, but I'd be curious to know how it plays and performs compared to an original Nintendo branded. It's got a turbo button on the top too. I wonder how that works. I'll have to try it. We have a Super Pad 8 for Sega Saturn. Curious about the D-pad on that one. Here is a Mad Catz Super Nintendo pad, complete with a controller extension that you can see there. That's been my default pad for a while. Needs a little TLC. Here is a standard black Nintendo branded official GameCube controller. Here is a PlayStation Game Shark, and that's got the serial interface on the back there, a little switch on the side, one assumes, so you can turn the functionality off and on. Here is a I believe an off-brand Microsoft Xbox breakaway cable. Pretty sure this is off-brand because I think I tried it with something that was official and it didn't work. And maybe it was designed for the controller that it came with. Here is the Duke, the original gigantic Microsoft Xbox controller. This thing is massive. Microsoft must have thought that everybody's hands were huge. Here is a Sega Model 2 Saturn pad. Lovely controller that it is. Here is a Sega Genesis 3-button pad. This would have been one of the controllers that came probably with my Sega Genesis that my box is back there for. Speaking of which, there's a Sega Genesis extension cable. You can see the ends there. This is an older NES pad that's been kind of abused. The cord's a little chewed up. I don't remember if that was one of my dogs that did that or how that happened, but I remember not being very happy about it at the time. Here is an off-brand Dreamcast pad. It is a Quantum Fighter pad, it says, which is great because it has 6 face buttons. So, assuming that the D-pad's decent, this might actually be okay for Dreamcast fighting games. I've got the SG Pro Pad, and this is a 6-button Sega Genesis controller, but sort of looks like a Super Nintendo dog bone style. So it has 4 face buttons and then 2 shoulder buttons, which just act as the Y and Z buttons. Of course, the mode button here to change it to a 3 button, and then your start button. Turbo controls for A, B, X, and C. And then it looks like turbo controls up top for Y and Z. Looks like a good D-pad. Have to give that one a whirl sometime. And then this is the standard SG Pro Pad instead of the all-new SG Pro Pad. And this is just the 3-button with it's got L and R shoulder buttons. I don't know if they're programmable or how that works. I'm not sure why there are shoulder buttons on there, because there are no shoulder buttons on this. So, not sure what that means. I've got a Sega Saturn extension cable, which is nice to have. Here's a Disney Infinity base I picked up along the way. Here is an off-brand N64 controller. I don't even see who made this, because the sticker at the top is gone. So I have no idea who manufactured this. This was a Goodwill buy, I think. Here's a standard gray Nintendo 64 pad. And here is a standard atomic purple N64 pad with controller extension. As you can see here, the extra stuff, the atomic purple. I have an NES Max, which I find to be comfortable and I like for shoot 'em ups. The NES Max pad is a little weird for most games, but for shoot 'em ups, to kind of fluid motion, I kind of like it. It doesn't work for all of them, but it's good for stuff like Fire Shark or no, Flying Shark, I guess it is. Twin Cobra, Tiger Heli, that kind of a thing. Oh, let's see here. This is just a mini USB charging cable. I think it was for a PS3 controller. Here's the wireless adapter for my Guitar Hero 3 wireless guitar for PlayStation 2. And yeah, wireless adapter. This is just an extra power cable. Must have been for one of my other game systems. Here is the Fighter Stick SG6 with this coiled phone cable style extension cable wrapped around it. But you can see it's a 6-button pad with turbo, slow motion function, and a mode button, of course. This is a good stick. Yeah, very good arcade stick. And finally, there is this PS Arcade stick. I picked this up just kind of on a whim at a game store mom and pop shop that I'm not sure exists anymore. Went on vacation down in Texas. It works for both PS1 and PS2, even though I think it's a PlayStation 1 controller. But we actually, there in the store, tested it out on a PS2 with Tekken 4 or Tekken 5, something like that. And sure enough, it worked. So, seems like a pretty good stick. It's real clicky. I haven't had a lot of chance to play with it because I haven't done much in terms of PS2 fighters or shmups here in recent months. But there you have it. So that is all the controllers and peripherals in this tub. What do you guys think? Any of this stuff trip your trigger? Any of these controllers? Anything that you guys really like? Who likes the Duke? Anybody out there have big hands and prefer the Duke to the later S-style controller? Anybody ever play with the SG Pro Pad and know what the L and R buttons on here do? It struck me that maybe this would also be compatible with the 3DO, because the 3DO has 3 face buttons and then also a set of shoulder buttons. But then there are sort of a play, pause, and another button on the controller, and so that may or may not have any bearing. But I'll have to do some checking online and see about that. Make sure you follow me on Twitter at GameBoyGuru. I will also have a link in the description to my blog where you can check out all my game reviews. That is GameBoyGuru.blogspot.com. And make sure you check out Mira and his channel. He provided the Super Mario Land overworld music that I use as the intro to all my videos. And he's got lots of other great chiptune and game music covers on his channel as well, so make sure you go check those out because it's good stuff. As always, thanks for watching, thanks for playing, and game on!